The Siren's Call, 1995. Chapter 1. July. Harris had always been the steady one. At Lake Tagconic Christian University, a sprawling, idyllic campus nestled by the serene waters of the Hudson Valley, his reputation preceded him. Tall and striking, with a quiet confidence that drew admiration, July was pursuing a dual degree in pastoral studies, a bachelor's and master's, with aspirations of stepping into ministry like his father. He'd been raised in the pews of Peace and Grace Chapel on Staten Island, the son of two devout parents who made faith not just a practice but a lifestyle. By all accounts, July was destined for great things. His roommate Trevor had been his friend since childhood. The two were inseparable at church, leading youth retreats, organizing prayer circles, and even debating scripture late into the night. Trevor had a reputation for being impulsive, and it was July who often kept him grounded. But since they arrived at Lake Tagconic, something had shifted. Trevor was still the voice of reason, but July's compass seemed to waver, and it all started with cinnamon. It was a crisp October afternoon when July wandered into Muffin Puffin, a mom-and-pop coffee shop near campus, on the recommendation of a classmate. The aroma of fresh waffles and roasted coffee filled the air. July had stopped in for a quick bite after a long day of classes, intending to order and go. But then he saw her. She was standing at the counter, ordering a cup of hot water for her herbal tea. Cinnamon. The name suited her. Her caramel complexion glowed in the golden light streaming through the windows. Her blue-gray eyes sparkled with mischief, and her reddish-brown hair flowed loosely from a bun that seemed haphazard but elegant. She wore a fitted peach tank top under vintage light olive denim overalls and sweater duster, and the faint, enticing scent of sage and jasmine trailed behind her. Her voice was soft yet commanding, like a melody that beckoned him closer. When her notebook slipped from her bag and landed at his feet, July bent to pick it up, their eyes meeting as he handed it back. For a moment he couldn't speak. He was struck by how she seemed both utterly real and yet otherworldly. Her lips curved into a smile, her eyes dancing as if she held a secret. "Thank you," she said, her voice laced with warmth. "You must be a gentleman." July managed a smile. "It's the least I could do." "I'm Cinnamon," she said, offering her hand. "And you are?" "July," he replied, shaking her hand. Her touch was cool, her grip firm. "July," she repeated, as if tasting the name. "Interesting. Are you named after the month?" "Not exactly," he said with a chuckle. "It's short for Julius." Her smile widened. "Julius. Strong name. You should call me sometime." She scribbled her number on the back of his receipt before sauntering out, leaving July rooted to the spot. "Wait," he said, not wanting her to leave just yet. "I've never seen you around here before." She paused, tilting her head slightly. "I come here when I'm in the area. I like the energy here. It's calming." "I can see that," July replied, trying to keep the conversation going. "So, what's in the notebook? Class notes or something more creative?" Her smile turned enigmatic. "A little bit of everything. Thoughts, sketches, readings." She hesitated for a moment, then added, "I do tarot and astrology. Ever had your cards read?" July's brow furrowed slightly. He had grown up in a home where such things were considered off-limits, dangerous even. Yet, looking at her, he found it hard to voice any objections. Instead, he said, "Can't say I have." "You think the cards can really tell someone's future?" "Not exactly the future. They're more about guidance, showing you the path you're already on." She set the cup down. "If you're curious, I could read yours sometime." July felt a tug of both curiosity and caution. There was something about her, something both alluring and unsettling. "Maybe," he said, hedging. "How much do you charge?" She laughed softly, the sound like a melody. "For you, free. Consider it my thank you for being a gentleman." He'd barely touched his food, his mind racing with thoughts of her.